Hey, Ryan Frey again with Peer Support and Wellness Health and Safety. We're going to run through some big news for us and for you. Membership, our EAP contract has been agreed upon by the board, and so we're moving forward. We do have a contract in place. It's going to be starting July 1st. So we're going to run through some of the benefits with that, and there are some changes for the better. So real quick, some of the things that are being carried over that have always kind of been there, we don't focus a lot on them, but these are benefits that you do have available. Parent coaching, personal coaching. There's a handful of online resources or on-demand resources. There's an alcohol and substance use opportunity. If you need those services, they offer up to 10 to pay for 10 visits somewhere. There's work-life resources, legal consultation. You get 30 minutes with a lawyer. There's financial consultation. Again, 30 minutes. There's parenting and childcare referrals. So if those are something that you're looking for, they can refer you somewhere if you need some specialty care. And then there's adult family care referrals. Okay, so if those are some things that you might need, Concern does offer those. Okay, so now some of the benefits, some of the things that have changed. The first thing a big thing that changed, Concern's agreed to do single case agreements. What is a single case agreement? If you have a clinician that you are seeing that does not take Concern, but they are willing to take Concern to see you and nobody else, they can set that up. That would be a single case agreement. They're agreeing to take Concern for that single case, which means that other people would not be able to use them through Concern. Okay, so not all some clinicians want to do private pay, but they will agree to do take insurance, for example, for just one individual. It's a single case agreement. The other way that this can be used is if you're out of state or out of the area and there are no Concerned clinicians around and you find one that works for you and they're willing to take Concern for you, that's another way you can get Concern to cover those sessions. So single case agreement is a big change for us. Eligible family members can use the EAP for up to 2 years after a Metro member passes away. So the way this reads is whether it's suppression or non-suppression, the family of that member can use the EAP benefits for up to 2 years after the Metro member has passed away. Let's get into the amount of sessions and those kind of things. For non-suppression personnel, support staff, administrative staff, everybody that's basically not a first responder, the visits remain at 8 sessions per incident per person per year, and that includes your family members. The big change here is that now the contract includes retirees 5 years post-retirement and their family members. So we all know that there are times when retirees have a change in job, a change in identity, those kind of things, might just need some resources to kind of get over the hump. This is a huge benefit for those individuals and their family members. So 5 years post-retirement, they also get 8 sessions per incident per person per year, usually with the ability to re-up for 2 cases, so 16 sessions. So that's a huge benefit. The other big change are the visits for first responders. So that includes suppression, MMPs, and their family members. The sessions now per case will be 20 sessions per case. So it was 8 in the last couple contracts. You now get 20 sessions per incident per person per year. So that's a huge benefit for our first responders and their families out there. Offers a big, wide safety net for all those individuals. I do know obviously there's a disparity between suppression and non-suppression. A lot of that's based off utilization. With the current EAP, first responders and their family members are just using the services at a much higher percentage than non-suppression. But I would say non-suppression personnel are also benefiting from this division, the Sacramento Regional Behavioral Health Committee, by vetting out much more competent, qualified, culturally competent clinicians. You have access to the same clinicians that first responders are using. So this is a very well organized and highly beneficial plan and a strong investment from the administration in all of Metro Fire's membership, non-suppression and suppression, or first responders and family members. So if you have questions on this, if you get into this, if there's a problem at some point, please reach out and ask. We have good relationships with Concern. the administrative staff at Concern. They've worked very well with us. They worked. They they want to help us out, and obviously we're going back and forth with Phil Harding and Chief Peck and Courtney. There's a lot of back and forth, and we've come up with a very good EAP contract that benefits all the membership. How did we get here? Goes way back to when Jeff Wells kind of started this stuff here at Metro Fire, getting more sessions, trying to change the stigma, get more buy-in from administration at the time, to the point now where with this EAP contract, Phil Harding, a firefighter who's the C-shift coordinator for peer support, spent months working on an RFP, things that we wanted, filling out the RFP, working with Courtney Moore, working with Chief Peck, negotiating with the vendors, and eventually with Concern to get a good contract that fit our budget and all those kind of things. And then presenting that to the administration and getting support from the administration by signing off on the kind of contract that I think that we all thought that would benefit the membership as a whole here at Metro Fire. So yes, this does come at a cost. There is a higher cost for this potentially. There's different pay structure. This is an EAP contract that nobody else in the region has. No, I think every 522 fire department and many of the surrounding ones outside of 522 are using Concern as their EAP. Nobody has this. We are using it in a way that EAPs weren't intended to be used. Typically, it was for mild depression and anxiety and things like that. You had newer clinicians that had very little experience. They're just trying to get their client list up. We are using this EAP in a steroid type fashion. Better clinicians, more experience, more training, more sessions, and a better quality product for you, the membership here. And so why would we do that? I feel like that's a fair question, especially with the budget, issues going on right now and things being more expensive. There's several reasons why that is. One is every division is strained right now and probably feeling some aspects of burnout. Service delivery, morale, life at home is all affected when people are burned out. Okay, people don't care about work, or they care less. They don't ask for help. There's problems, they get covered up. All those kind of things start occurring when you have burnout. And when members are exhausted and emotionally depleted, that shows up in the low morale, poor service delivery, slow work, and all those kind of things. And poor home life, quite honestly. So the reason that in the Wellness, Health, and Safety Division is how do we support you? How do we help keep you healthy so you're not only healthy at work and be able to perform and get service delivery out, and that's everybody, but also be home and enjoy your time off with your family, and do the things that you want to do and not just be emotionally exhausted all the time. So this is a big step forward. It's a big investment by the administration here at Metro Fire for all of us. Quite honestly, the way we look at it is that we are the system that keeps this thing moving. We are the most important asset here at Metro Fire. This is a big investment into that asset, into us. Okay, it's an opportunity. It doesn't mean everybody's going to use it, but if you need it and you need a lot of it, it's available to you at no cost to you with very good clinicians. The safety, health, and well-being of Metro Fire is the top priority here in the Wellness, Health, and Safety Division. Okay, and it's in our name. It's our goal. We all know that service delivery is our number one pillar that we always talk about, right? The way I think we look at it here is, yes, service delivery is important, but it's not service delivery at any cost. Okay, how do we support you and maintain healthy components in our delivery to you guys so you can continue to do the service delivery and enjoy your time off at home with your family? It's no secret that every division is strained. I know we typically focus on suppression. Logs is trying to do more with less money or have more expensive things that we have to pay for to make sure that the engines are filled and the medics are filled and everybody has the supplies that they need. Fleet is trying to keep rigs on the road. HR, administration, everybody, CRRD, everybody is trying to work within the confines of their budget and limited time and less people. On the suppression side, back in 2006, the county ran about 155,000 calls, 154,000 calls. 20 years later, last year, we ran just under 248,000 calls. So we've added 100,000, almost 100,000 calls to the county, not just Metro Fire, but the whole Sacramento County in 20 years. That causes a strain district-wide. This EAP contract doesn't fix all of that, obviously. It's not going to fix all of that, but it offers you an opportunity at no cost to you. If you are feeling that strain, maybe your stress bucket is starting to overflow a little bit. Okay, maybe I need to go talk to somebody, maybe gain some tools and find a clinician that I like, not worry about having to call for more sessions, and here we go. Okay, and then this leads me to you guys out there in the field. A big part of this was having you guys fill out a survey last fall, and also the MMPs the last couple months. Why do we do that? Two big reasons is there's still a confidentiality piece that we have to try and respect, and there's a stigma still here that we're fighting. The stigma is always probably going to be here, at least a little bit. We're trying to change that. But what the surveys do is it allows an opportunity for you in an anonymous way to give us an idea as to what you are going through. What are some things that you're going through? What are some things that we can change? What are some trends we're missing? I'm hearing a lot more rumors about relationship issues right now, and so we'll get into that here in a second. But it allows us to have a better idea as to what's going on out there in the field. It validates kind of there's a lot of talk in the firehouse. That's a way to validate the things that you guys are going through. And it helps kind of steer our ship a little bit to make sure we're staying on track, that our peers are aware that these things are going on. Like with the MMP Academy, or with the MMP survey that went out, that survey got sent to the company officers for their awareness. So they are aware of maybe some of the things that might be going on in the MMP rank. So that's kind of the EAP in a nutshell. If you want more, you want to have questions about the contract, please let me know. Shoot me a call or a text. We can go over some things, or I can answer some questions for you. But from there, we're going to pivot. Quick overview again on what peer support is focusing on. There's three concepts that we focus on: education, awareness, and resources. Been hitting this for years. The education starts in the academy. We're in the Captain's Academy. We go to the BC's Academy. We go to in-stations to train with you guys. Okay, so we're just giving you the tools, right? There's a lot of stuff here that would be a semester's worth of education. We're throwing it at you pretty quick, just the bullet points, so you're aware of some of that stuff, which leads me to the awareness piece. The awareness piece is a little bit more challenging. There's 700 people here. That's 700 different ways of people dealing with stress. The awareness piece is for you. What are your triggers? What are your coping skills? How's your sleep? Are you drinking a little too much? Are you working a little too much? Those kind of things. It's an awareness piece for you, so that if you take those educational components and go, yeah, maybe I'm a little stressed out. Maybe I am arguing a little bit more with my spouse at home. If you recognize those things, then that can lead to an awareness piece for you. We've added some tools for you in the Metro apps page. There's a trauma checklist. There's actually two of them in there. One's a little bit longer, and there's a shorter one-page one. If you're curious, go through it and do a quick checklist to see if maybe you're at that point where your bucket is overflowing. Again, going back to the survey stuff, we're hearing rumors of relationship issues. The training that came out this month for the peer support section is dealing with relationships. There's a thing called the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse. John Gottman is a therapist that came up with these, and he was able to predict with like an 85% certainty of a couple whether they were going to divorce or not, based on these 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse, he calls them. There's a podcast in the training, so just listen to it. The spouses that get the emails got the same information. Hopefully that sparks a conversation with them. Next month, we're going to be talking about the window of tolerance. It's in the book, The Emotional Survival for Law Enforcement by Dr. Gil Martin. We talk about this in the academy, but we're going to go over it, try and do a video for you guys to have some awareness. Very good for you and your relationships for when you go home. And then the third thing are the resources. Okay, that's the EAP, the clinicians that are vetted, facilities, professionals, everything, resiliency, all those kind of things. We're trying to build that up for you guys and bring that to you guys. All right, I want to hit some workers' comp stuff in the presumptive world real quick. So again, the presumptives are cardiac, cancer, and PTSD. Okay. there's just a misunderstanding out there. The presumption in the law does not diagnose you. What the law does is if you actually get a cancer, cardiac, or PTSD diagnosis, the law presumes that that diagnosis was caused by the job. If that makes sense. So let me give you an example. If you have a spot on your skin, doctor says it might be skin cancer, and we're going to do a biopsy. You can file paperwork, workers' comp paperwork, but if the biopsy comes back and it's benign, your claim's going to get denied. If the claim comes back cancerous, then the law says that it's presumed that that cancer was caused by the job. You have a much better chance of that getting approved. So that makes sense. You know, what a lot of guys hear is firefighters have a cancer presumption. What sometimes is interpreted is if I think I might have cancer, my claim should be automatically accepted. Okay, but actually it says if you're diagnosed with cancer, then the law assumes that the cancer was caused by the job. But if you just think you have cancer but no diagnosis, the law doesn't cover that. If that makes sense. Okay, so the existence of the condition versus the cause of the condition. Okay, the law doesn't look at whether you have the existence of the condition. That's for the doctor to decide. Once the doctor diagnoses that, that's when the law kicks in, and it presumes that that condition that's been diagnosed by a doctor was caused by work. Okay, so again, I hope this kind of cleans things up a little bit, maybe a little confusing. And please ask if you have questions. But here's the thing: if you have an actual diagnosis, much better chance of the claim being approved. If you're just kind of in that finding out world, you're not sure what's going on yet, and you're getting things checked out, even with PTSD, without an actual diagnosis from a doctor, the law does not work that way. You need an actual diagnosis. Okay. Last couple things I want to touch on here before I close out. I'm sorry it's such a long video, but it'll be my last one, so you're welcome. Newer employees, newer members here. I don't care if you're suppression, non-suppression, if you work at logs, fleet, I don't care. Please consider signing up for peer support. Okay, you learn a lot more for yourself probably than you will about helping other people, but it is nice to help other people and at least have some of those tools available to you. We are very short on individuals on A and C shift, and we're really short on people in other divisions, fleet, logistics, all those kind of different divisions. There's nobody. So please consider signing up. I don't care if you're on probation. If you're on probation, we'll at least put your name on a list, and we'll wait for you to get off probation to put you in the class. But if you're interested, please consider signing up for peer support. The classes are usually in January, so look for emails in the fall for that class coming up. But I highly encourage you to sign up for that. There's a thing called a flywheel. This is just kind of a thing that they use in business. The goal here with behavioral health is obviously your mental fitness. And the thing in the flywheel are all the different things that we're working on to try and support the mental fitness for the membership here, suppression and non-suppression. So it's kind of something that helps keep us on track, makes us go back and review certain things that maybe we've let go a little bit. And it's a good tool for us to keep an idea as to what different things are out there for us to help you guys. And then the very last thing we're going to talk about is succession. So obviously there have been some promotions. I told Chief Peck that if the opportunity came up to work out of class in the battalion chief rank, that I would like to have that opportunity. So that is coming up, and I will be moving out of this day spot and kind of the administrative part of this, and Captain Steve Harrington will be taking over. He will be starting up very soon, and we're going to work together for a couple of days to try and get him going a little bit, introduce him to some people. I won't be going away. I'm going to be on shift. I'll still be part of peer support. I'll still be helping Steve answer questions. He's got a very good support group behind him. We still have 3 strong shift coordinators that are very well versed in this world, as well as the canine handlers. And there's many others that don't have those roles that have done a lot of stuff with peer support. So there's a lot of people out there that are going to help Steve get up to speed. I have no doubt he'll do well in this position. And when I took over this role, the whole goal was to try and change the culture here at Metro Fire. changing the culture here at Metro Fire would help get us help reduce that stigma, get some more awareness out there, and hopefully get us more resources. I feel like we've done that, especially with with this EAP contract. We've got multiple relationships with different facilities throughout the region and the state. But it's always been, a challenge to change culture somewhere, especially in the fire service when you're talking about things like your feelings, being vulnerable, admitting that maybe you have a problem, those kind of things, especially when it's been pounded into us that we're the ones that are supposed to help fix everybody else's problems. The rational thought would be then I should be able to fix my own problem. And just sometimes that's just not the case. That's why we have peer support, to help see those things, recognize those things, have those conversations, and guide people to the resources that might help just get them over the hump a little bit. I know that the stigma part of it, there's probably still people out there, there's probably still conversations at the firehouse table where the thought is maybe this is softening the fire service and lowering the standards. First of all, you can ask any of the probies that I've had in the past if you think that I've tried to soften or lower the standards on them. That is not the case. And I do not believe that this is softening the fire service. A big part of this, where I've seen the most benefit from this, is from leadership. We talk a lot about service leadership. To me, service leadership means that you are serving your crew. You have to get to know them in order for them to be able to want to follow you. I always figured at some point there would come a call or a time or an incident where I would ask my crew to push beyond their exhaustion, to maybe stay in a position that might be a little bit longer than we were all comfortable doing, or maybe go beyond their capabilities. For them to trust me in making those decisions and realizing that I don't take that decision lightly at all, is that I have to build that relationship with them, to get to know them, to train with them, to hold them accountable, and to also have them feel comfortable to hold me accountable, because we're all going to make mistakes. I guarantee you nobody in this fire department or anywhere else is perfect, regardless of what they might say at the kitchen table. So to have those kind of relationships, to do service leadership, you have to learn those interpersonal skills, how to have those conversations, how to put your phone down and really focus on what people are saying. What are they not saying sometimes? Those are some of the things you have to be aware of. I think anybody looking to be in a company officer or above rank here should highly consider taking a peer support class. I've learned more from being involved in peer support in the leadership role than I could ever hope for. So just to close this out, I do not think that peer support stuff is softening the fire service. You don't have to have rank to be a leader here in the fire service. In order to change this culture, there takes maybe a little self-reflection on ego, being humble, seeing if you need to change course. And quite honestly, if you are taking care of people or want to do service leadership, it should be exhausting. You should be always looking to improve every single day, either the relationship, training, all those kind of things. And it's an investment in your crew. And by making that small investment in your crew, you're making a larger investment here at Metro Fire, because eventually somebody in your crew, somebody you probably don't expect sometimes, they're going to promote into positions of leadership where they're going to be making decisions about this stuff. And did you foster that care into them, into being strong leaders? Did you show them what a strong leader looks like? So with that, I'm going to close out and get off my little soapbox. Continue to take care of yourself and your crew and your family, and I'll see you out there. All right, bye.